The plasma membrane, also known as the cell membrane, is a crucial component of all cells. It serves as a barrier that separates the internal environment of the cell from the external environment, while also facilitating communication and transport between the two. The plasma membrane has a dynamic structure with various functions. Structure of the plasma membrane. The plasma membrane is primarily composed of a phospholipid bilayer, which consists of two layers of phospholipid molecules. Each phospholipid molecule has a hydrophilic, water-attracting, head and two hydrophobic, water-repelling, tails. The hydrophilic heads face outward toward the aqueous environments, both intracellular and extracellular, while the hydrophobic tails are oriented inward, away from water. Embedded within the phospholipid bilayer are various proteins, which can be classified into two main types. Integral proteins. These proteins are embedded within the lipid bilayer and span across it, touching both the inner and outer surfaces. Some integral proteins are transmembrane proteins, which pass completely through the membrane. They often have hydrophobic regions that interact with the lipid tails of the bilayer, anchoring them in place. Peripheral proteins. These proteins are found on the inner or outer surface of the membrane, attached to either integral proteins or the lipid bilayer. They do not penetrate the lipid bilayer. Functions of the plasma membrane. Selective permeability. The plasma membrane controls the movement of substances in and out of the cell. It is selectively permeable, meaning it allows certain molecules to pass through while restricting others. This ensures a regulated internal environment. Transport. Integral proteins in the plasma membrane play a crucial role in various forms of transport across the membrane, including passive transport. This includes diffusion, movement of molecules from an area of high concentration to low concentration, and facilitated diffusion, passive movement of molecules through specific protein channels. Active transport. This involves the use of energy, usually ATP, to move molecules against their concentration gradient, utilizing protein pumps. Cell recognition and signaling. Cell surface proteins, such as glycoproteins and glycolipids, are involved in cell recognition and signaling. These molecules are responsible for cell-cell communication, immune responses, and tissue formation. Cell adhesion. Plasma membrane proteins contribute to cell adhesion, allowing cells to bind together to form tissues and organs. They also play a role in maintaining the structural integrity of tissues. Receptor function. Receptor proteins on the plasma membrane bind to specific signaling molecules, ligands, from the extracellular environment. This binding triggers various cellular responses, such as activating intracellular pathways or triggering a cellular response. Exocytosis and endocytosis. The plasma membrane is involved in processes like exocytosis, the secretion of molecules from the cell, and endocytosis, the uptake of substances into the cell. These processes involve the formation of vesicles that fuse with or bud off from the plasma membrane. Homeostasis. The plasma membrane helps maintain the cell's internal environment by regulating the entry and exit of ions and molecules. This is critical for the cell's survival and proper functioning. In summary, the plasma membrane is a dynamic structure that performs multiple essential functions to maintain the integrity and functionality of the cell.